Two Queers in a Truck. And I'm Billy James Gunn, and my sidekick, Christian Cano, partner with Gunn, is coming up next.
Hey everyone, I'm Jim's sidekick. Welcome to Two Queers in a Truck. Hi y'all.
See you soon.
Good morning, everybody. We are in the month of December, and this is Two Queers in the Truck with Christian and Gersemi. Oh man, Chevis, it is December 10th, if you can believe that. And what a wild ride 2025 has been. You know, we'll probably jump on that to the later in the month. First of all, I want to jump into my first topic right away. My wife and I are going to be starting some business projects and some entertainment and business projects, and we've kind of hinted on it on Facebook a little bit. You've probably seen some of my virtual posts and things like that. This week and the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll be expanding on that and giving out some offerings and some different things. So just kind of, if you follow myself on Facebook or Instagram, you're going to see more and more details forthcoming. I've had to be tight-lipped on some things because there's some things that the ink's not quite dried on everything yet, but needless to say, there's going to be some exciting stuff, and so we're very excited. One of the main reasons why we moved out to California is to pursue projects that were different than what we were pursuing before. Second was the lifestyle. Christian and I were talking about this off camera. You can't beat it. It's ridiculous to live in West Hollywood. In Hollywood, it's the lifestyle is. There's a reason why this place is expensive. It's a valuable commodity, and especially the part of the greater LA area and LA County that we live in is, even though we live in a separate city than LA. Technically, we live in the city of West Hollywood, which is, it's just wild. They had like a little town hall thing, in the year thing, last week. I think it was last week. And they had like free food and non-alcoholic drinks. And it was just the most adorable thing. And the city manager, longtime city manager, and longtime city employee of West Hollywood is retiring. And they did a little send away from him, and it also happened to be his birthday. It was just a lot of really, really cutesy stuff, and the place is just it's almost too adorable to believe that we actually live here, because it's almost like living in a gingerbread house or something. You know. Do we have our challenges as a city and as an area? Yeah, of course. I mean, every big city has significant challenges. When you put this many people together, there's going to be some issues. There's no perfect place. It is what you make of it. But this is damn near, you can see perfection from here. If there was a perfect place that I've lived in this long lifetime, this is pretty darn close. I feel pretty spoiled, and I definitely have a lot of privilege by living here. And it's been a great place for my significant other, my wifey. It's really got a lot of amenities that we've truly enjoyed and taken advantage of, and look forward to spending pretty much the rest of our life here. We can't imagine moving anywhere else. Maybe other than retiring to Hawaii, but that's down the road, because I probably will work till I'm 85. But anyway, but there's a lot of things we want to do for our community and for our people, and we are outlining some goals and some ways of achieving both excellence in our charity and excellence in our life, and the perfect place to do it in. So wish us luck, and keep your eyes peeled on my social medias for more details coming up. And we'll be making some announcements and maybe even buy a commercial from the Cannis Media Group here and advertise on the show.
Hold on, I woke up there. What's going on?
Yeah. Woke Christian out of his normal Wednesday morning nap while we're taping. I'm just kidding, y'all. For y'all that watch the video version, you know he's attentive. But the moment I say advertising, his ears perked up. The second subject I want to talk about again is Hollywood news. We went over the week, this last weekend, which we do tape this in advance. So this is gone on for a little while ago. If you're seeing this for the first time, Hollywood has a adorable little Christmas parade. It's not even little. It was 5,000 performers all together. Luke Wilson, a well-known actor, was the Grand Marshal. Anthony Anderson was the Humanitarian of the Year, the other kind of Grand Marshal. Two well-known performers and Hollywood actors. And just sweethearts, and it was all designed to be a toy drive for Toys for Tots for the U.S. Marines, the charity project for the U.S. Marine Corps. And it was cute. It was a typical Hollywood fashion. It started next to the world famous Chinese theater in the heart of Hollywood, and made basically a big horseshoe throughout the main roads of Hollywood. We stood over by the Hollywood High School, which is famous. It's been in several films, and it's been different high schools over the years. But it's actually Hollywood High. They just rebadge it, and it's very, very famous.
Is it still used?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
School there, they film there too in the summers when the kids aren't there, but. It's you recognize it if you see it, because once you see it, you realize it's the pan out shot of a high school, typically in LA, or is typically in what you think of as LA. That's one of the schools they use, because you can tell, you'll recognize it once you drive past. You go, I've seen that in movies and TV shows before. Obviously it's where they film. If they don't film on a Hollywood set or a studio set, which we've done in Universal Studio Tour. And it's pretty cool to see that, because their sets are so elaborate, and they've got these cityscape things that look like New York or Chicago or whatever, London, whatever city it needs to be. And then they have another city set that looks like more European looking. It's pretty cute. The one that looks kind of like Mexico, and they got some significant. It's an interesting tour, because you ride on a tram and they drive you through, and the little tour guides entertaining in themselves. But the Hollywood Christmas Parade was really, they're going to replay a edited recording of it on December 12th on the CW network. But it was taped this last weekend live. And Eric Estrada was one of the color commentators / hosts.
Eric Estrada.
Estrada. I mean, you can't get more fun than Eric Estrada.
The fact that we know that name.
Well, that's all. You talk about dating us. I mean, Luke Wilson, he's in his 50s as well. I mean, he's been around forever. Mm-hmm. He's been in a lot of comedy movies, and his brother's Owen Wilson, which is, also a famous actor as well. The Wilson family is a large entertainment family here in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. The Wilson family is also originally from Texas as well. But we'll up against our first break. We'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about it and go on to our third topic right after these important messages. Hey, everybody, you can catch us on your favorite audio podcast platform, Spotify, and all Apple Store, the Google machine, and whoever else does podcasts. We're on there. We broke in, and we're staying. So enjoy the Two Queers in the Truck on your favorite audio podcast platform. Thanks for listening or watching. Bye. And we are back. But yeah, it's kind of strange to see celebrities like we do see celebrities out and about in the wild here that have been on TV, reality TV. There's all kinds of pop-up events at the different theaters here, because they do a lot of premieres and red carpet things here in LA, and especially because us being in Hollywood, they'll do them at this one theater area that's an AMC theater called the Grove. They do. Seth Rogen was promoting a project. We walked right past him as his entourage was rushing him to an announcement thing for a TV show he was doing, I think on Apple TV. There's like we've walked past or seen or waved at tons of celebrities, living here. The people involved with Vanderpump Rules, we've seen both Lisa and her husband out in the wild, and just different people from time to time where you kind of go, oh yeah, they look different in person, without the makeup and the lights on and all that, but you recognize them, and you definitely sometimes recognize their voice if they have a very distinct accent. But it's kind of wild. We live in Hollywood, so it's to be expected that you're going to see all things movie and TV business. And but to jump into something else, real quick, significant changes are happening in the Republican Party, and I don't know if people were really noticing it. But we had the bombshell announcement by MTG in the last few weeks about resigning from Congress effective January 5th. And you're talking about somebody that was all things Trump, that was elected in 2020, was a significant player in the MAGA movement, that quite frankly, I think she read the tea leaves. And I think when the ship starts burning, the rats jump out first. And you see MTG, she actually made sense in the last few months, which I knew something was going to happen when MTG started making sense. And her new significant other said he's known about her resigning for a while, and has gone on record and saying, I support her because, we're in a relationship now and all that. And the fact that also, too, there's a lifetime Republican in Arkansas that ran as a Republican against the incumbent for the 3rd District in Arkansas that is now switching parties, is going to run as a Democrat in 2026 for that same seat. They tried to win against Representative Womack. And this is a guy, and his reasoning behind it is, his name is Rob Ryers, and he's switching parties. It's amazing, mainly because of the realities of economic tragedy in this country that's caused by the Republican Party. Is that, if you are a physically conservative person, the Republican Party abandoned that a long time ago. Even though they've talked a good game for a long time, they've actually never really been the party. They've been the party of spend like crazy, like naval sailors on payday, and on shore leave. It's they've spent like no tomorrow. I mean, we look at the wars of the 9/11 wars for profit. They spent $8 trillion of our money, and it's our money that they've literally borrowed against Social Security. They've got a significant part of our record-breaking, earth-shattering debt that's approaching $40 trillion. $8 trillion of it is with that plus the interest. It's a debt that will never pay off. We'll never be able to pay off. Not the way we're handling business now. We have abandoned the things that Clinton did in the 1990s, which was setting us on a course of balanced budgets, budget surpluses, right-sizing the military, right-sizing our priorities, spending on domestic agendas, improving research for medical, improving, education. So many other things that happened in the 1990s all got flushed away by George W. Bush and the Trump administrations in the 21st century, and set this country significantly back. We were on a course of being like most Western democracies in Europe, at having balanced budgets and money for the people. And now we are bankrupt and an absolute oligarchy. We are not a democracy. We've been an oligarchy for a considerable amount of time when George W. Bush stole the election in 2000, and we have gone downhill from there. And Trump is destroying it, so much so that I can I've been saying there's going to be a housing market crash in 2025 or 2026. Now the major media is now saying it. The major economists are now saying it. It's going to happen. The housing market will crash in 2026 for a lot of reasons. And a lot of it's mismanagement, and a lot of it is allowing corporate ownership, which has squeezed millennials and Gen Z, to making it almost impossible for home ownership for young people and young families. And that is a significant problem when you have 8-9 million homes being held by BlackRock alone. And what they do is what would have been a normal, $1,500 a month or $1,800 a month mortgage is now like a $2,500 to $3,000 a month rent payment. They've squeezed people out and squeezed people out of the inventory. Something has to give. And it is. It's the housing market has flatlined and is in the process of crashing. And it has to. And it has to. What goes up artificially and rapidly must come down. And like the debacle of the George W. Bush administration, when they let these crazy loans and these balloon loans and all that of the early 2000s, that I also predicted in 2004 that it would crash by 2008, which it did, and I predicted it almost to the month. I'm telling you again, I don't have a crystal ball, but I'm smart enough to know when things played out, and we are played out as a country and as an economy. And we have to start being very realistic about what we're doing about housing, food, education, domestic agendas. And this is going to come and be important here in a few minutes when I talk about our sixth topic, and why this is important and what the Trump administration is taking us headlong for two reasons. And I'll state the two reasons why we're going to get involved in a war with a South American country as our last topic of the show. They're going to pull a Bush-Cheney move. They've already telegraphed it, considering what they've been doing in the Caribbean. We're up against our second break, and we'll be right back with some more Two Queers in a Truck after this.
Hi, everybody. This is Gersemi from the Americo show over here. All I'm here is doing a little quick PSA. Use this summer to do volunteer work. Go to your nearest YMCA. Go to your nearest homeless shelter. Go to whatever community services or programs that you can help out and volunteer. Because right now, we have a bunch of fascist pieces of shit trying to rip apart our country and rip apart the people, our communities, by spreading hate and bigotry. The best way to combat it is, one, working in your community and standing strong to show that you are strong and you're here to help out others. Two, combat misinformation. If you hear bullshit, first research and make sure if it's true or not. If it is not true, call it out. If it is true, get the facts. Be knowledgeable of it, because it might come out later. So always stand against that. And three, fuck fascists. Stand against them. Make them feel uncomfortable. There is too many people out there feeling like they can say the hard R or say slurs or be violent. Make them understand that a lot of people died to make sure this hatred and bigotry does not exist. All our civil rights workers, all the people who restored normity, everybody who fought against intolerance and hatred, they died and worked their asses off to stop this. So follow in their footsteps and stop this madness. This is Gersemi again from Americo, and all I can say is be there for your community and stand up for what's right. Fuck fascism and have a wonderful day.
Hey y'all, this is Jetty with Two Queers in a Truck, and Christian's along with me. And we're just having fun, and we're looking forward to the 2025 season, and super excited. We have some neat things going on in our whole family of shows, including Coffee and Pan Dulce, and many new shows that are brewing. Get it. And we are excited for 2025 and all the chicanery and other things that comes with it. So happy New Year, and we'll see you on the flip side. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Bye, boo.
Bye, boo. And our fifth topic is going to be a little bit lighter before our sixth one is going to be the heaviest one of the show. One of the things that I learned when we went to the West Hollywood city celebration and talking about long-term goals and the city manager retiring and things like that was their commitment to feeding people and housing people, and how they're tackling it head on with short-term housing, long-term housing. And the city of LA has started putting a luxury tax on high-end home sales, like $4 million, $5 million and up, the county-wide, or is citywide in the city of LA, which doesn't apply to West Hollywood or Beverly Hills. But the money being raised has built long-term housing for the unhoused. They're tackling food scarcity and housing scarcity head on in the city and starting to make inroads. We're a long ways from being perfect. It's one of the most significant things facing this city, as it is Charlotte, North Carolina, New York City, et cetera, et cetera. All major cities have a huge homeless challenge that we've created in many ways. Economic instability, a lack of equity in society, and so many other things. Lack of harm reduction. You can point to a lot of things, but at least living in a progressive city, inside a progressive city, they're at least showing some humanity and some proactivity by spending the people's money wisely for the people and not pandering to the rich and the famous. They've got plenty of money. The rich and the famous don't need our help. We don't need to give welfare to the richest of the rich. Anybody worth $100 million or more, they're good. You don't have to worry about them. We don't need a society that is going to pander to the top 1 to 5% of our society economically. We need to worry about the 50% below that are struggling or below the poverty line. And quite frankly, the poverty line's outdated. The number is way too low. The real poverty number, adjusted for 2020 numbers, a family of 4 needs to make almost $100,000 a year to even fulfill basic needs, considering how more expensive housing is. In some markets, housing has doubled, tripled, or quadrupled in price in the last 20 years, but especially since the recovery from the 2008 Great Recession. Cities, states, and the federal government have to address this. We've got to quit creating problems that shouldn't be there. We shouldn't have student loan debt. That kind of stuff is manufactured. It's manufactured because we've spent too much on the military and too much on war and creating harm in so many ways. In debts, both in violence and in lack of resources. People become more violent. And it's a proven fact. We've seen it in the happiest of the European countries where they've reduced harm and helped their citizens. You look at a place like Norway that's cold as shit. This should be a miserable place to live, but they're some of the happiest people on earth. But the government's been very responsible, so much so they've saved up trillions of dollars in a sovereign fund that guarantees this health and well-being of their people. Something that a country like Norway has figured out. For some reason, the greatest country on earth is nowhere even near that type of solvency. They've got their shit together. We couldn't find our ass with both hands. We keep voting for an orange clown that babbles like a 3-year-old sugared up on crack cocaine. We are heading head first into a war in Venezuela. Mark my words. The toxic language around Venezuela coming from the dumpster administration, and the fact that he needs a war to save his ass. He needs a war as a major distraction. Obviously, the shooting of Charlie Kirk was not enough. He needs a significant change, because when the economy crashes next year, as bad as it's going to, and when the housing market crashes, he needs something for the American people to worry about and watch the news for. And an open war with Venezuela is it. And it's not for the reasons that they're going to state. Obviously, they're going to say it's going to be because of the drugs. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Two reasons why we're going to go to war with Venezuela. Number one, it has the highest oil reserves on the planet, even higher than Saudi Arabia, which is number two. And I'll repeat that. It will be for oil. It'll be for resources. And I have no doubt we'll nationalize their oil. We will occupy Venezuela for the next 2 decades, probably. The second reason is that Trump absolutely is bought and paid for by so many oil-producing countries. The Saudi Arabians' number one competitor is Venezuela. Saudi Arabian royal family, specifically the Saudi Arabian prince that just visited Washington, D.C., that was directly linked to killing a journalist, paid Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law, just a few years ago, $2 billion, with the caveat that Trump has to get reelected with a clawback and a debt. And they stopped at nothing to get reelected, including selling their soul to American oligarchs. Our government was bought and paid for by a lot of money. In return, the Trump family is becoming insanely wealthy, wealthier than they've ever been. They've accumulated almost $5 billion in wealth in the last 9 months, just off cryptocurrency, just off that alone. And there's other investments that the Trump family has acquired since Trump came in power on January 20th. So in totality, since about February till now, about 10 months, 9 months, they've accumulated $5 billion plus and rising. And they're telling what the real number is. And there is a lot of reasons why we would invade Venezuela that they're going to state. But the number one and number two reason is oil, and more oil. And controlling the Venezuela market, manipulating the worldwide price, and doing the bidding of Trump's Saudi Arabian overlords. And keeping a promise, when somebody hands you that kind of money, it comes with strings. Nobody hands you $2 billion and just says, go put it on a Black 13 in Vegas. You know, it's not, because Trump wasn't even in power when Jared Kushner cut this deal. But Trump campaigned the entire time that he was out of office. He never stopped campaigning and fundraising. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of people, high wealth people, Putin, the Saudi Arabians, and many more, many Americans that bet on Trump. Why? Because he's the willful fool that has enough selfishness, it can be bought, and he absolutely doesn't give a shit about this country. And if you think it's any different, watch as Republicans drop out of that party. Watch as they jump off the ship. There'll be more. As soon as Pete Kickstand and many others start getting held accountable for what they're doing, there will be a lot of Republicans jumping ship, and there will be a burning ship for sure next year when this country crashes and burns the way it's going to. That's all we have for this episode. We will send it out on a somber note. Hopefully I'm wrong. I rarely am. I wish it wasn't, because I absolutely despise war and what it does to people. But we will see. We will see. But on that note, we will say our goodbyes until next week. And thanks for always listening and watching. And we'll see you soon. Bye, boo.
Bye, y'all. Bye, boo.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for watching Two Queers in a Truck. And it's December 10th, so we're in the holiday season. Y'all be careful out there. Enjoy the time, but also, don't hurt yourself too much, because January comes around and those pounds pack on. But just kidding. Enjoy that extra slice of cake. Keep it in there. It'll be your last. But y'all have a great holiday season, as always, and we'll see you soon. We'll see you next week. Thanks, y'all. Bye, boo. Bye, y'all.